Today we shall discuss lesson 2, class 8 grammar. So lesson 2 is all about nouns. So it is a very simple chapter, very easy. You are very familiar with this chapter. So noun, basically what does noun means? Noun is a name of anything. It's a naming word. Noun actually means what? Naming word. So whatever you say, my name is Amit, father Tyus, sister Jennifer. Okay. So what happened? These all are name of animals, plants, whatever. Okay, these all are any naming words can be considered as a noun. I hope that's clear. In your book what is given, a noun is a naming word. All names are noun. Okay, so nouns are broadly classified in two main types. One is called concrete noun and one is called abstract noun. That's clear. Okay, now let me help you to understand the meaning of concrete. You know the meaning of concrete. Concrete means what? The anything which can touch, we can feel, we can see it are called concrete. Like building is a concrete. RCC, reinforced concrete cement. Concrete means what? Anything can be touched, anything can be felt, anything can be seen. These are now called as concrete. But what is abstract? Abstracts are those things which we cannot touch, which we cannot see, but we can feel it. Okay. Now let us understand word by word. Point A, concrete noun. What is concrete nouns? Concrete nouns have a material body. Material body means which have an existence, which we can touch it. They can be seen or touched. We can experience them through our senses. Like what are the various senses? We know there are 5 sense organs in our body, which we got in class 5 also, 5, 6 also. What are these? Through our sight. Sight means by looking from our eyes, by hearing, by smelling, by touching, by taste, and etc. For example, cat. We can see the cat, table, chair, buses, teacher. These all are the concrete noun. Bottle, chair, building, whatever, car, mobile, laptop, telephone. These all are concrete noun. I have this clear. Concrete noun is further classified. We will discuss later on. Now let us understand what is the meaning of abstract noun. So obviously I already explained the meaning of abstract noun. Abstract noun means what? Abstract nouns have no material body. Okay, it has no material body. For example, happiness. It has no, we can feel only, right? But we cannot touch it. We cannot see it. So abstract noun have no material body. We cannot experience them through our senses. They are the names of the quality, actions, or state. They cannot be seen or taught or touch. They cannot be seen. We cannot see it or we can touch also. Like for example, thought. We people say na thought. So childhood, bachpanapan, motherhood, friendship, relationship, happiness, sadness. Okay, these all are quality things which we cannot see, which we cannot touch also. This can only be felt. So these are called the abstract noun. Now let us go to types of concrete noun. So basically, concrete nouns are classified in 3 major types. Actually 4. One is not given here, but when you go in a higher classes, you will get one more types of noun classification. And what is that? What are the 3 main classification? They are common noun, proper noun, collective noun, and material noun. Material noun is not given here, but you need to study that one also. Now let me study point to point. What is common noun? What is common noun? So let me revise again. What nouns are classified in 2 main types: concrete noun and abstract noun. And this concrete noun is further classified into more type or three more types according to your book, but actually 4 more type is there. And according to your book, there is 3 major types. What are these? Common noun, proper noun, collective noun, and one more is there, that is material noun, which is not mentioned in your book, but let me say it. Now let us understand what is common noun. For example, I have to say Ram. Ram is not a common noun, it is a proper noun. I am saying with a particular person. I'm calling a particular person. If I call, hey boy, come here. So boy, you all are boy here, you all are girl here, right? So boy is a common name for every individual person. For example, Jisoo is also a boy. Okay, Trideep is also a boy. Our Sahil is also a boy. If I call, hey boy, come here, who will come to me? Because boy is a common word for every male candidate here. So boy is considered as a common noun here. Clear? Now if I call you, hey Jisoo, come here. Now Jisoo is a particular name of a person. So Jisoo is a proper noun. I hope that's clear. If I say that Ganga is a holy river, Now Ganga is a proper noun because I am saying a distinct, I am mentioning a distinct name of a particular river. If I say rivers are dry nowadays, but rivers, I like to swim in river. Now which river? Which river? River is a common noun. Brahmaputra also is river. You can Digram also is river. Yamuna, Kaveri, these are also river. So there is no any well distinct of any particular river. So that is called river is a common noun. Okay. So if I say that he is a great person or he was a great person, I don't know what I am saying about. But this man is good. But if I say Mahatma Gandhi is a good man, Mahatma Gandhi is a proper noun. Clear? Understood? Okay, so let us go to with the point of your book. So a common noun is a name given in a common to every person or thing of the same class. For example, a boy is reading a book. Now it is not mentioning that what book he is actually is reading. If I say no, the boy is reading a science book. Now the science book is a proper noun. But if I said randomly a book, so book can be anything. It can be science, math, social, comics, whatever. Clear? So lions and wolves are wild animal. Animal. Now here look. Animal is a common noun, but lion and wolves they are the proper noun. Okay, they are the proper noun. For example, we should grow more trees and plants, but it is not mentioning what trees. You will call mango trees also tree, banana also tree, jackfruit also tree. Okay, so all are coming under the category of tree and plants. But if I say no, we should grow mango tree, we should grow neem tree, we should grow apple tree. So apple, mango tree, these are our proper noun. Clear now? Okay, fantastic. So there are many big cities in our country. Now look, big cities. Now there is no any well mention of any particular cities. There is no any well mention of any particular country. No, if I say our country is very big, India is a big country. Now it is a proper noun, but country is a common noun. I hope that's clear. So it is given here. The word given above in bold types are used in a common for every person, place, or things of a common of the same kind. These nouns are called common noun. So now next. So now we are going to understand proper noun. Okay. So I think through the example you already have learned. So what is proper noun? A proper noun is a name of a particular person, place, or thing. Huh? So if I say Assam, Harmuti, Lalok, these all are the particular name of a place. So they are considered as a proper noun. So Jawaharlal Nehru was a great leader. If I say that this is he is that man was a great man, great leader. So that man is what common noun. But if I mention the name, particular name of that person, like Jawaharlal Nehru is a great leader or great person. So Jawaharlal Nehru is a proper noun. Like New Delhi is the capital of India or capital of our country. That is also a not proper noun. I have read the Bible. What book you have read? Now in the previous topic, we have learned that the boy is reading a book. The book is a common. But if I say no, the boy is reading a Bible or the Holy Book or the Quran. So I can say that is your proper noun. So it is already clear, I think. In the above sentence, Jawaharlal Nehru is the name of a particular person. New Delhi is the name of a particular place. Bible is the name of a particular book. So these nouns are called the proper noun. So remember, it is a very good note given here. One boy is standing and giving one a very good note to us. A proper noun is that particular name given to a common noun to identify it from other of a class. If I say now book, so book is a common. If I find a particular from there, like science book or Tinkle comics book, so that comic book is a proper noun. Now let us go to the another point, that is your collective noun. So what is collective noun? Collective noun means what? As a whole, the group of something is called collection, and that collection is called collective noun. For example, team. Okay, let me bring my team and play the cricket match with you. Now, team is a collection of players. So one person cannot be called as a team. One person cannot call. Suppose Suraj is coming from there. I am the team of my game. Okay, I will play cricket with you. One person cannot form a team. Team need at least 6 to 12 people. These to 12 people or player makes a team. It is clear now. So that's the thing, very important thing. So for example, here given here, let me read what is given. We sometimes use word to show a collection of person, place, or thing. These words are called, words are referred to as collective nouns. For example, our army is on the move. So army is a group of soldiers. Okay. Now the teacher is not in the class. Class is what? A group of students. Okay. So I cannot call one student as a class. Class means what? A group of at least 5, 10, 20 students can be called as a class. A herd of cattle in the meadow. Meadow means a farm or anything. Okay. Herd means what? Group of a januar or the living organism or the cattle are called herd. So these are all collective nouns. So here is given there in the above sentence, army, class, herd or are collective nouns. Army is the collection of soldier, class is the collection of students, and herd is stand for the collection of cattle. I hope that's clear now. That means try to understand that what is collective noun. Or collective noun is a group of particular person, place, or thing. That's all. Clear? Okay. Here is a very beautiful note given here. Here one lady is standing. Let me make one twing twing. Okay. A collective noun is a noun given to a collection of similar common nouns. When you collect a similar common noun, it's called collection. Like collection of books is called library. Okay, so library is a collection of books. So we can say it is a library is a collection of books. Then library is a collective noun. Understood? Now let us go to the next point. It is also very interesting and a very easy point. What is that? Countable and uncountable noun. The name itself says that countable means what? Anything that we count easily. Anything that we can count easily are called countable nouns. Anything which cannot count easily, they are called what? Uncountable nouns. Now let us go to definition according to your book. So the countable nouns can be counted. It means they have a singular and a particular form, plural form. For example, a books, two books, three books, apple, two apple, three apples. So what we understood? Any noun that can be counted. For example, books, people, laptop, mobile, pen, pencil. These all are countable. They can be counted easily. You can count easily by looking at it, right? So remember one very strong point while I am explaining, try to make very beautiful notes. So that countable noun can have two form. It can have a singular form also, and it can have a plural form also. Suppose I have a book with me, one book. So I will say a book. If I have two books, I will take two books. So now it becomes plural. When I have one single piece, I will say only book. If I have more than one piece, we will call it books. A boy is coming. When one boy is coming, I will call a boy. When more than one boy is coming, that boys. So what boy can be counted. So that is why boy is a countable noun, and hence it has singular form and plural form. I hope that's clear. Understandable? Very good. Fantastic. Now let us move to the another point. What is that? Uncountable nouns. What is this? Obviously, the name itself indicates any noun that cannot be counted. Any noun that cannot be counted easily. For example, water. Can you count one water, two water? We cannot count it. Here, but sand, soil, coffee, sugar, rice. These are the example. Few examples. There is so many examples. Milk, honey. You cannot count. But if okay, let me say, uncountable noun cannot be counted. It means they have only singular form. They have only singular form. For example, let me bring waters. Will you say waters? No. So we cannot ever use s with a uncountable noun. Remember. Have you ever seen waters, coffees, sands, sugars, rices? No, we use rice, coffee, sugar, water, not s. That is wrong. So we cannot use plural form with a uncountable noun. It is very important thing. Clear now? Understood? Very good. It also means that they do not take a or n. So in case of a uncountable noun, we cannot use a and. We will not say a water, give me a water. We can say give me a glass of water. That is correct. But don't say give me a water. That is wrong. This is completely wrong sentence here. Clear? So one more thing, as I already told you, we cannot count water, but we can count bottles of water. If you take that water and put into the gallon or in a water bottles or in a cup, then we can easily count that water bottle, that glass of water. So we can count glass of water, but we cannot count a particle numbers of water. I hope that's clear. If you put the water in a bottle or mug, then you can count it. Then we can easily count it. Give me a mug of water. Give me a liter of water. That is okay. But you can say a 2 bottle, 3 bottle. You can count bottle of water, but you cannot count water. Remember this thing. Clear? So that's remember this thing. So I hope that's clear, right? So now let us move to the next point. Gender. Gender means what? Means what is the sexuality of the people, we can say that. Okay, whether it is a male or female or what is that. So according to grammar rule, there are men, four classification of genders are there. Okay, you already got in class 6, 7, 8, 8, or you are getting again in higher class, you will get more about these. So genders are classified in four main types. They are masculine gender, some are saying muscular gender also, and second is your feminine, some is called female gender also, or we can call it as a feminine gender, and third is your common gender, and fourth is your neuter gender. Now let me make you broadly explain this topic. What is masculine gender? Masculine gender are those nouns which we only indicate the male, which only indicate the male things. For example, boy, king, lion, these are all the male. Male indications nouns are called the masculine gender. But in case female gender is the reverse, or the is the opposite of the masculine gender. What does female gender represent? The noun which are the names of females. And what is masculine? The nouns that are the names of a male are made to be masculine gender. For example, boy, you can say king, lion, actor, bull, cow, uncle. These are the example of masculine gender. The feminine is a reverse of masculine. If it is called male and it is the female candidate. So feminine gender examples like what is the opposite of boy? It is your girl. King is what? Queen. What is lion? Lion is lioness. Actor, actress. Bull, mare. Uncle, aunt. So it is the reverse of masculine gender. Clear? Okay, very simple. Now let us move to the next type of gender. Is common gender. Common gender are those gender. Now let me read here. Okay, there are many nouns which we do not donate whether the gender is masculine or feminine. So what happened? There is so many gender we cannot distinguish either it is a male or female. For both the case we use the same word. For example, teacher. Okay, now for example, male teacher will also you call teacher, and female will also call you teacher. For example, Sir Mahadev is also teacher, Miss Musha is also teacher. So we will not say teacher, teachery. I already told you. We will not say this thing. Okay. So for example, friend. So somebody is a girl. So she will call the female friend is also fair friends. And if somebody is a boy, if he has friend, he will also call as friend only. Clear or not? So friend is a common word for both male friend or female friend. Somebody might be thinking boyfriend and girlfriend. That's not okay. So what is child? Now boy is also child, girl is also child. Whatever who is studying this lesson, all are child here. So we will not say that the boy is a child and girl is a childy. It is a wrong method. So these are student. Student, the word student represent for both the gender, whether it's a male or female. In both the cases, we use the same word. For example, singer, dancer, teacher. These all are called the common gender. Common gender means what? For both male or female, we are using the same common word, and hence it is called as what? Common gender. Very good. Clear? This is clear. Neuter gender. Neuter means what? It has no any muscular or female distinction. It has no any well defined male or female sectors are called the neuter gender. It is neither male nor female. For example, pencil. What? Pencil has male or female or what? It is non-living thing. So it cannot have male or female. Okay? Okay, fine. So listen, lifeless thing have no gender. Obviously, those things are non-living thing are called as non-living thing are do not have any gender. So they are said to be of the neuter gender. For example, pencil, we will not call it pencil, pencilly. Now pen, penny. Chair, chair me or cherry. Don't say. Chair has no any male or female distinction. Boy, book is also neuter gender. I hope it is pretty clear. Try to make the notes while I am teaching. It's very important, very interesting. Now the last point topic of the chapter is case. Now this is very interesting, very easy also. Just I need your kind attention toward it. Now what is case? Now we say then, somebody is murder. Okay, suppose Pooja murdered Rohit. Example, Pooja murdered Rohit. So now Rohit parents went to the police station and filed a case that Pooja has killed my son Rohit. Right? So this is a case means what? Putting allegation, putting complaint to someone is called case. Okay, I will give a case on you. You try to steal money from my home, so I will put a case on you. Case means any allegation or any gumraha or any kind of wrong things according to the political issue. But in case of a grammar, it mean little different. Case shows the relation of a noun to other word in the sentence. What? It help to relate. It show how the noun is related with the other sentence, with the other word of the sentence. For example, Jisoo likes to play cricket. Now, if I say Jisoo, how Jisoo is relate with the cricket? Jisoo is the main person who likes. Cricket do not like Jisoo, but Jisoo like cricket. But Jisoo is the main person who is doing the work, who is liking something. But football cannot like you. Football is a non-living thing. So who like? In this, who like? Jisoo like. So Jisoo is the main objective. So we can call Jisoo as a objective case. Now what Jisoo like? Jisoo like cricket. Now if I say what he like? Who what like? The cricket is liked by Jisoo. The cricket is a objective case. So I already discussed this one. Nominative means subjective case, and objective means accusative case. It's a other name for nominative. So I hope that objective case is clear. Let me define it more clearly. So case means what? Case is those things, those part of grammar. It shows the relation, how the noun is related with the other word in the sentence, other word or other word in the sentences. There are main four types of cases are there. What are those? Like nominative case, objective case, and your possessive case and vocative case. These are the main four type of cases are there in our noun part. Now let us discuss what is nominative case. So how can you understand what is nomination in the candidate? Means the main performer of the task is called the nominative case or subjunctive case. For example, when we use a noun or pronoun as a subject of a sentence, we say it is a nominative case. For example, to find other nominative case, we have to put who or what before the verb. For example, Sheena drew a picture. Now, if I ask who draw picture? Sheena draw a picture. So Sheena is a nominative case here. For example, Rohit like to eat ice cream. If I say who like to eat ice cream? Rohit like to eat ice cream. So Rohit is a nominative case in this sentence. I hope that's clear. Okay. So nominative case is also called as subjective case. Means you can, in a very short form, you can understand that the main subject of the sentence is also called as nominative case of the sentence. Clear? Very good. Now let us understand the next very important point, that is your objective case. What does objective case refer? Objective case are also known as accusative case. It is the reverse of a nominative case. Objective case means what? When a noun or pronoun is placed as opposite of a verb. Means when noun or pronoun is used as an object of a sentence, then this verb or this noun is called as objective case. For example, if in order to find the objective case in the sentence, we have to put what or whom after the verb. For example, Peter ate a mango. If I ask that who ate a mango? Peter ate a mango. What he like? What he eat? Mango he eat. So here Peter is considered as a nominative case or subjective case, and the mango is considered as a objective case or accusative case. For example, Rahul went to Harmoti, or Rahul went to Harmoti. Where Rahul like to eat ice cream. What? Okay, ice cream is your objective case and Rahul is your subjective case. That's clear. Now let us go to the next topic, that is your Possessive case. Possessive case also called as genitive case. Genetic means who is the owner of that noun or of that particular thing is called genitive case. For example, the meaning of the word possessive means what? Apnapan. Malik kaun hai? It shows the ownership. Malik kaun hai? Who is the owner of this house? Who is the owner of this book? For example, like when a noun or pronoun is used to show possession means who is the owner or ownership. We call it as a possessive case. For example, this is John book. Whose book it is? John's. John is a possessive case in this case. This is Arjun's ball. So whose ball it is? Arjun's ball. It is Nirmala's mobile. So whose mobile it is? Nirmala's mobile. Okay. So Nirmala, John, whatever means where we use apostrophes, such words are considered as a possessive case. Now let us move to the last case, vocative case. What is a vocative case? Vocative case are those noun which is used to address a person or thing. It is used to be in the vocative case. Means a noun which is used to address someone. For example, hey boy, come here. Rohit, Rohit, comma, open the door. So Rohit, I'm addressing a person name to do certain works. So Rohit is considered as a vocative case. Vocal means what? Whose name you are calling. Okay. Now here it is. Listen to me, Arjun. Listen to me, Rohan. So Rohan is your vocative case. In this sentence, the main person is addressing a person who is asking, like suppose our principal call a person, hey, hey, open the door, Samuel. So he is addressing, he is saying to a particular person that you now go and open the door. Samuel, you open the door, he is saying, go open the door, Samuel. So Samuel is called the vocative case. Means here a well distinct person is authorized or well distinct person is been indicated in this case. Okay, it is said to a particular person, and hence we call the Rohan or Samuel is a vocative case in this situation. I hope it is pretty clear. Huh? Now let us move to the next point. It is your apposition. Apposition means what? When a noun follows with another noun. The second noun is called the apposition. Now you already know the apposition. Position means place. Means a position means position ka baad position, one after another position is called a position. So now listen. For example, remember in this sentence the subject is Miss William. For example, Miss Williams, our new teacher. Now here addressing another things that who is, now we can say Miss William. We can say Miss William is a pleasant person, but I want to introduce that person more better. Miss William, who is that? Miss William is our new teacher. So our new teacher is the address of Miss William. So we can say that this address, this apposition of this noun is called your apposition of the sentence. For example, in this sentence, the subject is Miss William. The word our teacher explain who is Miss William. In here, our new teacher, this sentence express what is Miss William or who is Miss William, what he is doing, what she is doing, whatever. Means if any sentence will describe what, who, why, such kind of sentence or words are called as apposition. So this word have been placed just after the subject Miss William. So when they explain they occupies a position just near the noun that they explain, they are said to be a position. Means when a set of letters or when a set of word explain a person who is that actually, that are called the apposition. For example, ki Mr. Arjun is a player came to our house. Mr. Arjun is a nominative case. Is a player. Is the address of the Mr. Arjun. So we can say that is a person, is a player is the apposition of the sentence. Clear now? Clear? Very good. So very simple thing. Here Miss William is a nominative case, and our new teacher is your what? Is your apposition in this case. Now let me give some more example. For example, I'm saying that so I am saying that that Rohan, comma, Okay, a best player, a best player came to visit me. So in this case, look here, Rohan is the main subject here. Now if I don't write this one also, I can form a sentence. Rohan came to visit me. Okay, so Rohan is a main subject here, but I want to address Rohan. Who is he actually? So if I say Rohan, a best player of Indian team, he came to our house. So this best player is mainly defining what? The address. Who is actually he is. So here this best player, we can call this best player is your, this is your what? A position. How you got understood? Very well. For you can say we can say like for example Miss what is it? We can say Miss what? Miss Usha. Okay, Miss Usha is our Hindi teacher. Okay, now it is a very nice sentence. Miss Usha is a nominative case in this case. Now I want to address Miss Usha. What she is? Miss Usha, a lady teacher, a lady beautiful teacher, beautiful teacher is our Hindi teacher. I can say is a beautiful lady, you can say. So in this case, what I am writing here, a beautiful lady. So you can say Miss Usha, a beautiful lady. Okay, Miss Usha, a beautiful lady is our Hindi teacher. So here, if I write this is also right sentence. Miss Usha is our Hindi teacher. It's also nice. Here Miss Usha is your nominative case. Teacher is your objective case. But I want to make a position. I want to address Miss Usha. So if I use this one, a beautiful teacher. So a beautiful teacher is your apposition in this case. I hope can I make you understand? Huh? Very good. So now let us move to the next part. What is a work? Now worksheet. You can easily do it by yourself, right? Underline each noun in the following sentence mentioned in kind. A bundle of keys. Now bundle is what? It's a collective noun. Okay. Chair or table is what? Common noun. So keys is your common noun. So you should write it nicely. So now chair, chair is a noun. Wood is also noun, and cane is also noun. So what is chair? Chair is a common noun. Okay, wood and cane both are what? Proper noun. It is the name of a particular type of plants or the wood that you obtain. So you do yourself this one. If you can't, I'm here to explain again. I hope you like the class, and we shall continue with the next lesson chapter with the upcoming period. Thanks a lot. Thank you.